Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Sunday morning. With us today is the Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Steve Scalise, and one big responsibility and a lot of hard work. Well, Mr. Leader, Majority Leader, what the heck is going on in Washington? I mean, there's so many things going on in many directions. I mean, President Trump has at least 3 press conferences a day.
Yeah, John, it's nonstop. It's good to be back with you, by the way. But in 2025, working with President Trump in an incredibly busy first year, we've got for families who that was created by 4 years of Joe Biden and far less those things that we've already laid out. So we have a very aggressive 2026 agenda, and we're already fast at work on those items.
I mean, we're doing everything from energy to healthcare to it's nonstop. I mean, tell us. I understand on Friday he met with the oil companies, and it was a very successful meeting, I heard.
Yeah. So President Trump obviously had an incredibly successful operation in Venezuela, removing Maduro, who's been number one, an illegitimate leader. He lost the election. He is just a tyrannical dictator, and was removed. He's, heading up basically drug cartels, killing Americans. And President Trump said, we're going to stand up for America. We're not going to let our men and women be killed by drugs and the crime that comes with it. And so Maduro is going to face justice in the United States. And in the meantime, they've got massive reserves, John, of oil in their country. And because the government had mismanaged it, the president's going to be bringing in the best oil companies from all around the world, of course, most of them headquartered in the United States, to go and be a part of getting Venezuela's energy production going again. A lot of that oil is going to come back to the United States, to our refineries, to be refined, to be sent out to our allies around the world, and it's going to help the people of Venezuela. It'll help a lot of people, but no longer is a dictator going to control it. And it's just one more way where President Trump is bringing peace to a part of the world that had been in disarray, while also lowering energy costs for families here at home and all around the world. It's, just this guy never sleeps, it seems like, John. You know him well, as I do. And President Trump just never stops working to deliver on the promises that he ran on.
Yeah, I know he does 2 or 3 press conferences a day, just about, it seems like. Now, I don't know why the Democrats are objecting to him taking out some of those boats carrying narcotics and cocaine and heroin to Americans to kill them. I mean, why are they objecting to that?
Yeah, John, this shows the insanity of the left and how much they just hate Donald Trump. They wake up every day and they say, what is Donald Trump going to do? And then we're just going to be against it. If he said, I'm going to go and solve, he's solving world peace. But if he said, I'm going to solve cancer today, they'd fight that attempt. And so you've got these boats coming in, bringing fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, like you said, into our country. And by the way, they're killing hundreds of thousands of Americans every year. And President Trump said, no longer. I'm not going to look the other way like other presidents did. We're going to actually stop these deadly drugs from coming into the United States and poisoning our citizens. Our young people are dying every day. It's horrible. And he stopped it. And then, of course, Maduro is there enabling and working with the drug cartels. In fact, he's been indicted for years. There have been indictments hanging over him for narco-terrorism. He colludes with the drug cartels in Venezuela to kill American citizens, and nobody was doing anything about it. And President Trump finally did. So it's not only good for the people of Venezuela, it's really good for the American people, because everybody, John, in every community in America knows somebody who's died from drug overdoses, from involvement in gangs.
Now, Majority Leader Scalise.
That's going to stop or slow down.
Yes, Majority Leader Scalise. The American people are starting to get shocked in the amount of fraud going on in some of the states. Did that surprise you?
I think the number surprises people. People in Minnesota alone, you're seeing it started at $9 billion. It could be up to almost $20 billion of tax dollars stolen just by these Somalis who came over. When Obama brought them in, Biden let even more people in, and then Waltz, the Democrat governor, who was about to be vice president under Kamala Harris, Waltz let this stuff happen. We just had another hearing last week in Congress exposing more of this fraud, where we had whistleblowers come and testify. Has brought an all-of-government approach to uncovering the fraud. You've got HHS, all these other agencies, Pam Bondi, they're going to bring these people to justice, and people need to go to jail, and I think you're going to see it. And did the governor himself know about it? Was the governor involved in it, John? Can you really have that much fraud? $10 to $20 billion of stolen taxpayer money, and the governor not know about it when the governor was running these programs. The whistleblowers who were telling us a lot of this stuff said they were being threatened at the state level if they told us what's going on. And thank goodness they still did it. They're heroes. But they're uncovering unbelievable fraud that we've maybe never seen before. And I don't think Minnesota's the only state. But President Trump is standing up for taxpayers.
And
fraud, that
yes.
is money stolen out of your pocket.
And Elon Musk made a comment the other day that of our $7 trillion budget, or with the that it could be as much as 10% on the fraud side.
There are a lot of people that have speculated it could be 10% of the normal tax dollars that go out that are stolen somewhere along the line through fraud from a lot of different places. We're going to be aggressive at rooting it out, finding it, getting the facts, and then sending people to jail. And that's where President Trump's really been aggressive. Let's send these bad guys to jail who are stealing our hard-earned tax dollars.
Well, we talked about energy. We talked about fraud. What's other subject that really concerns you being in charge of Congress like that?
Yeah, we've got on in addition to oversight, rooting out fraud, corruption. We're working on lowering costs across the board. Lower health care costs. Paying premium, so we're going to keep working on that. We have a good housing bill to lower. You see a lot of young people that can't even buy a house anymore. Let's lower housing costs. We're working with President Trump on that as well. Than $2 a gallon at the pump when you were paying over $3-4 a gallon just a year ago under the Biden regime. So those kind of things are going to keep happening, rolling back some of the crazy regulations under Biden that just add costs without any benefit to the consumer. Things that we can do to put more money in the pockets of hardworking families.
I guess the next challenge he has, he wants to bring down interest rates, but he gets to pick the next Fed chairman in the next few months. Hopefully, he can bring back Fed rates down to where he was before, and have more young people buy homes.
Yeah, and the Federal Reserve has a lot of control over this. The president's appointing really good people on the Federal Reserve that understand good economic policy. Involves, number one, let's control the inflation and the spending in Washington. And we've cut a lot of spending in Washington. Rooting out the fraud, by the way, that we were talking about, that also lowers inflation because that's less money being spent in Washington on waste. So now you lower inflation. You also need to lower interest rates to go along with it. And as you lower interest rates, that puts more money in the pockets of families, too. You can now go refinance your house. You can buy a new house. A first-time young a new homeowner can, you're renting for a long time. You want to own a home. You don't want to rent your whole life. You can now go buy a home. We're working on making housing more affordable, and there are a lot of different angles to that. And by the way, getting some of the crazy regulations Biden and the Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders wing put on our community banks, John, that's going to help lower housing costs too, because your local community banks are the ones who lend the money to go get that first-time home for a veteran that comes home after serving, in our military maybe, or you get out of college and you want to go buy a house. Let's help our community banks give those loans with lower interest rates to these homeowners.
I think that's the secret, because it used to be 29 was the average age for a person to buy their first home. I hear the numbers up to 44, which is, I guess they can't afford to buy a home. Anything else on
what that means? Yes, it means
Yes.
It's harder for young people to have access to the American dream. Part of the American dream is owning your own home. Let's make that American dream possible again for young people. President Trump is committed to doing it. We're going to deliver.
I agree with you 110%. Anything else you want to tell the American people on Sunday morning?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been a tough start to the new year. If you're somebody that's in law enforcement, we've always seen these threats over the last few years to law enforcement. Look at our ICE officers who just are trying to do their job. They have a sworn duty to enforce our laws. Part of that is our immigration laws. President Trump has secured the border, which is so important. But you're seeing the far left has been issuing basically an all-out assault on our ICE officers. They wanted to defund the police. Luckily, they weren't able to do that. But now they just have this assault on ICE officers, and they're trying to get people to go out and disrupt ICE officers, impede their ability to do their jobs, threaten them. We've seen threats and attacks on ICE officers up 1,300%, John. It's out of control. It's got to stop. And let's get back to just people should respect our great law enforcement officers who risk their lives to keep our community safe.
Majority Leader Steve Scalise, thank you for coming on this Sunday morning. God bless you and God bless America, and hopefully we will see a great 2026 for all Americans. And thank you for calling.
Hey, John, God bless you. And look, happy 250th, happy birthday to America. It's the 250th anniversary we all need to celebrate. President Trump surely made that a big priority too.
Absolutely, and I hope both of us are around for the 300th.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm going to work on that. You do the same. All right, my friend.
Thank you.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.